Hello fish fans out there and ant fans. Now, as many of you know, my lasses Niger are all tucked up, safe and quiet in hibernation mode. But in the meantime, I thought I would do a second video on my Fluval Roma 240, which is this beautiful tank here. And we'll have a little bit of a closer look at this. You're actually looking at the back, but the front of the tank, and I'll explain why that is anyway. So in order to cover this journey, there's actually a couple of books that I've been using. This one is Setting Up a Tropical Aquarium, and I'll give you a close-up of these with some better light in a second. And also this one called Sunken Gardens. And these are quite highly recommended if you're quite new to fish keeping and you want to know everything from, well, basically if you don't know the difference between your nitrates and your nitrites, or ammonia, or your pH balance, or even to set up a hardscape if you want a natural landscape like I do, these books are absolutely brilliant. Now, we've finally got the tank in here. You are going to need a hand to put this on the stand. There's not a cat in hell's chance you're going to be able to do this on your own. It weighs an absolute ton. And what we'll do is, in fact, let's rewind a little bit. If you saw the first video, this quality of this stand is absolute garbage. And I ended up gorilla gluing and using some hinges on this thing in order to make it rock solid, because by the time you've got water in this, it's heavy. So you want to make sure that that stand is absolutely rock solid. Now, the other items that I've actually purchased, again, I'll get you some better views of these, but I've actually got some substrates. I went for Fluval Stratum. Now, I did a lot of looking around on the internet for aquascapists and fish keepers and aquarium keepers and the whole lot, and this came up again and again and again. And a lot of people have said you don't need to pre-wash this stuff, just get it in and be careful. So what we'll do when it comes to actually getting everything in on this tank, you can join me on my beginner's fish keeping journey and we shall learn it together if that is of interest to you. So I've actually got 3 bags of this. It's 8 litres a bag, and hopefully that will be enough, because if not, well, we'll be buying some more. So there's our tank, and I apologise for the flicking light. One of the overhead bulbs keeps flickering. Now, I've got this in my room as an actual room divider here. So when you're all sat down, all comfy on your couch here, what we want to do is we want to be able to have a look at our fish in our tank. But obviously, it would mean that the fluval pipes here would be here. And I didn't want all the wires and everything on the back, so the tank is actually mounted the wrong way around. Meaning that this back end here, and I will be actually getting a piece of board cut flush to this so it will cover that back up, because that actually is the back of the tank. But it means that when you look at it from this side, you get the nicer front side that looks out into the main room, which I thought was a better idea, meaning that these are now at the correct side. We can just run these cables up into here. Well, as you can see, as part of my aquarium journey with the Roma 240, I bought some of this dragon stone. I bought this from a local garden centre, Head Aquatics, and I said, you need to wash it, and he said I'd give it a quick rinse. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not getting a new bathroom put in, so it's a good job for me to do this. That is what you get when you wash them and give them a good scrub. You certainly do not want that in your fish tank. It's absolutely caked in this stuff, absolutely clogged with it. So yes, make sure you wash your rocks before you put them in your tank. That is absolutely disgusting. So because these dragon rocks are so dirty, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them in this basket. I'm going to fill the back up and let them soak for a couple of days to see whether we can get most of the ingram. The dirt that's actually in a lot of these places just seems to be quite hard, and they are quite brittle. And I noticed I've cut my hands open a few times on these dragon stones. I don't know what the theory is behind having fish swimming around and all that stuff. But yeah, that's it, and I'll give you a little update on the actual wood and where we're at with the tank so far. So this is as far as I've got at the minute. Excuse the mess. I'm painting some floorboards, skirting boards. So you can see I've just randomly put a couple of pieces of wood in here and a second piece, and what I'm going to do with this substrate is I'm going to have a bit of a sand island in the middle to separate both sides, but I've just dumped it in for now. A little bit of condensation here in the room, so I've just left the top off to try and clear that. But this wood, this spindle wood as it was, it's what, £37, which I got from Maidenhead Aquatics, and I just thought that was a nice big piece that I may be able to get some interest in here with this piece that comes up here. Maybe get some moss, something growing on here, and I want some long luscious vines here at the back, and that I've just literally just plonked that there for now because we haven't got the rocks. Once those rocks have soaked for a few days, I shall take them out and dry them thoroughly, then I shall start doing the hardscape. But yeah, we've got the aqua sky in there. Nothing else is connected up as yet, and because we're looking at the back of the tank, I just need to pull that up. I'll do it later to hide that. This is actually the back of the tank. I've put the tank on the wrong way around and drilled a hole in the case so that I can have the fronting on this side. But that's the plan, and that's where we're at the minute. Everything else, as you can see, is boxed up here to go, including the new Airstone air filter. And over here we have all our little goodies, our bug bites, our diary tools, all the goodies. Down there we're going for CO2, so I've already got the pipes. I've also got the regulator. I updated to the Fluval E300 heater as well, and in here we've also got the master Tetra kit. I've also gone for this, which is the K magnet, which I may do a video on because a lot of people have said that's absolutely brilliant. And in here we also have the Airstone, which a lot of people are using now. A lot of the top people are using also. I thought, you know what, sod it, let's go for it and we'll have some of that. And I've also gone for the Ionium, however you pronounce it, the Air 400, which is supposed to be really, really quiet, because I do want some aeration in there. Even though we're going CO2, I think you should have some water flow displacement. So that's where we're at so far. We have our drop checker kit. We've already got the regulator. I just haven't got the CO2 tank yet. And there's another little flux diffuser. Is it Summit Bomb, I think they call it. But anyway, so that's all the bits. We're almost ready to rock and roll. And once we've got the stones in and done the hardscape, I shall give you another update. So this is where we're at the minute. As you can see, I've actually got some dragon stone in here. This is the stone that you saw me cleaning earlier. I've got the substrate in, and I've got this beautiful piece of wood here. And I've tried to make it so that it levels out the tank somewhat, so it's got a little bit of a flow to it. Now this dragon stone, barring having to clean it like 150 times, I've seriously cut my hands open on this stuff. It is super sharp. So if you're going to get dragonstone, just be aware of that. So this is actually the back view of the tank. So I've ordered a load of tropical plants. Wasn't aquatic gardens. I'll find out what the name of it was and put that in the description box of where I've got it. Very helpful, guys. There's no water in here yet, obviously, but the Aqua Sky 2, that's on full blast. It just does not seem very bright at all. And I am really worried about this. So somebody else commented on YouTube that theirs was really dim. Even though they had the 12 watt, this is the 30. So I'm wondering whether it may get brighter with the water and it may magnify it. The camera's making it look brighter than it is. But that's where we're at so far. And when I start to get the plants and fill it with water, you'll be joining my journey. Some of the other items that I actually bought is this. We have this Fluval water conditioner. We have the biological enhancer. We have the biological cleaner, you can see there. And we also have the Fluval grow, because I would like quite a natural tank. So this will be almost like the fertilizer for the plants. And the biological cleaner, I'm not actually quite sure when to put this in. And the water conditioner, I presume I will be putting this in once we actually do water changes, which, if I can remember rightly, for the first 4 weeks or so will be 50%, and then we will reduce that down to 25%. And the biological cleaner enhancer, again, I need to know whether this is the first thing we put in to get the system running and to be able to cycle a fishless tank. So if you actually know about these 4 items, do let me know how much I need to put in and when. Barring that, I've obviously gone for the fishy food, We have the Fluval Tropical Flakes. I have some Fluval Tropical Sinking Pellets for the bottom feeders that we will get, the clean-up crew as it were. And we have some colour enhancing flakes here. Now you may notice as well, we've also gone for all the tools. Oh, we've got all the tools, all the kit. We've got the tweezers in here. We've got all the various bits that are quite essential for your hardscaping initially. And what we've also got in here that I went for down here, which is very important, is the freshwater master test kit from API. A lot of people said this was highly recommended, but this is another thing, something else that I'm going to have to look into and learn how to use properly at another point. Now the heater, I actually updated the heater. I went for this, get careful the bottom of the box. I went for this Fluval E300. It's actually one setting higher than it needs to be, 375 litres, and we have got 240. But I thought it was better to get a slightly more powerful one than to get an underpowered one, and this is the 300 watt one. And again, a lot of people on YouTube were saying that this was just an absolutely fantastic heater, and it's actually got a built-in thermometer on the front there, and we will be showing you setting that up as well at a later date. Now, barring that, we've got the odd little bit of bug bites. Again, not really much interest at this stage. Regarding an air stone, I went for the Ian Air 400. Again, another one that was very highly recommended. I didn't mind spending a bit more to get the best kit I possibly can at this stage. It's better, I think, to spend a bit more and get the kit that's going to make the process a lot easier. And from there, let's get these out of the way. We also went for this, which is the Twinsie Care Magnet. Now this thing is, again, one of the best algae scrapers that you can actually get. It won't scratch the glass. It gets algae off extremely easily. And I will be showing you this in depth once we actually get algae growth and we get further in. But this, again, came highly recommended from a lot of aquarists out there. What else have we actually got in our cupboard of fishy goodness? We also have this, which is the Haiger Airstone S100. And again, this is another item that I will be doing a video on once we actually get this into the tank and we get round to hardscaping it. That's something we will be covering. And barring that, we have a little bag of clear hose holders so that we don't have the pipes all over the place when it comes to the actual tank. And barring that, I think the only main other item we actually upgraded, you can see the old one in there. I went for the Fluval LED Aqua Sky, which you can control with your phone. And I've had a little test of this, and you may actually notice if we look at the tank right now, it is actually on. It doesn't look very bright at all. I've just been testing the settings out on my phone, but I presume once the water's in there, it will look a lot brighter.